pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we get to swear in our newest Valley Fire Rescue Board member. Your second swear. Yeah. You ready?
All right.
You have been elected to represent the communities served by Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue. Your behaviors, decisions, and actions directly reflect the image of Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue. Other board members, its personnel, and the level of service the district provides to the citizens we serve. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. State your name.
I, Stephanie Sheva,
You solemnly affirm all the vision, mission, values, and policies adopted by the Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue.
do solemnly affirm that I will uphold the vision, mission, values, and policies adopted by the Sizewell Valley Fire.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will act for the good of the communities of which I serve.
I will endeavor for the preservation of life and property.
I will endeavor for the preservation of life and property.
I will strive for excellence while I faithfully, honestly, and perform the duties of director of the Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue.
I will strive for excellence while faithfully, honestly, and ethically perform the duties of director of the Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue.
You are now duly confirmed as a director for Sizewell Valley Fire and Rescue. Congratulations. Thank you, Dave. No problem. Mary, can you do a roll call?
Yeah, SBFR WLFEA Directors, Director Heppel.
Here.
Director Polisi,
Here.
Director Carilla,
Here.
and Director Restrepo. Here. Estimating Evans and WLFEA Directors, Director Russell,
Here.
Director Stent,
Here.
Director Holbrook, Director Buss, here, Director Webb.
Here.
Okay, we have forms for all three entities. And now we're going to have a little addition to our agenda, a little demonstration of some new equipment we got. Are you ready to demo or something?
Okay, so for, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years now, we've been wanting to get ultrasound devices on our ambulances. And over the last few years, technology has really advanced, and the prices have dropped. So it's made it more affordable for us to add these units now on our ambulances. So I asked Dustin Pearson, who did some studies on this when he was in paramedic school, to take point on this, and he's done a great job on finding some ultrasound probes that are gonna work for us, that are affordable, that have other technology features that we're gonna be able to use for training and education and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to have them come in and kind of show you what they are, maybe talk about them a little bit, because it's really exciting. There's only 1 or 2 other ground ambulance agencies in the state that have ultrasound probes. And so we're gonna slowly start training and working and rolling those out. Good.
Hi, I'm Dustin, I'm one of your medics. I haven't met you yet. Yeah, like Rob was saying, he tasked me with doing some research and purchasing these. We just got these delivered last week while I was on vacation, got back, got them in service. I've got a task book written up, protocol written up. So the goal with these is using them on trauma patients, any abdominal or torso trauma, getting an image while transporting to the hospital and uploading them to the cloud before we even get to the hospital. Anytime we have internet, we can upload them to the cloud, let Peace Harbor or down the road Urban know. They'll be able to view our ultrasound images before we even get there. Goal being that if, we have a positive finding, free fluid in the belly or the chest, that we can have blood products already in the room waiting for us Any other like coagulation therapy that we may need, we can start much earlier. Studies have shown that pre-hospital ultrasound saves lives, and for the cost of these, I think it's well worth, even if we only save one life in the next year. The butterfly IQ that we went with, it is nice that it's one of the cheaper ones on the market, but it also has probably the most user-friendly platform. Basics all the way up to paramedics are able to use this, gather images, upload them. The goal for us is to have everyone that responds on calls able to use this and get images. We've already been playing with it on shift. I have a bunch of recorded videos, but I'm about to share to the TVs. Maybe next board meeting, I will have a full demo for you guys. Maybe get someone up on the table that's willing to get sounds. Probably not, but either way, you know, we can show you more as we get more training done. Right now, traumas and then cardiac arrests. So right now, you know, we run cardiac arrest for 20 minutes and we base termination of resuscitation off of end tidal, which, you know, with Lucas's that we have creates such good CPR that we're getting good end titles all the way up to the 20-minute mark. With these, we can actually see cardiac wall movement and make a better determination on whether or not to continue the resuscitation or stop it. Shows better outcomes for ROS or return to spontaneous circulation. You know, 50% of people that have a cardiac rhythm of pulseless electrical activity actually end up having cardiac wall movement, and we're doing unnecessary CPR. So with these, we'll be able to actually see the heart and what it's actually doing, if it's moving or not, whether or not, you know, we can feel a pulse. My goal is to have this up on the medic units and using them within the next month. The training is kind of intense, but everyone that I've talked to is super excited about them. Everyone's really excited to start training and using them. Other than that, you know, next board meeting, we have a full demo for you, some pictures and videos and whatnot. Is there any questions for me?
Is it just hooked to your iPad? Is that how you see the?
Yeah, so we have iPads on every ambulance that we use for report writing. They plug right in. It takes all of 6 seconds for the iPad to recognize the probe and automatically open the app. And it's ready to start scanning. You can also get the app on your phone. I use mine on my phone. It's quick and easy. It comes with both plugs. Comes with a nice hard case with a charger inside. Our sales rep is nice enough to throw in the hard cases.
Are the only on ambulances right now? Are you planning on putting on engines? How does the engine typically, how long typically does the engine get there before the ambulance, or is that an issue?
Issues. Yeah, it's not, no, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we maybe ran one or two ambulances here, like.
Because your transports is forever. So I'm thinking, if your transports are so long, if the engine's stuck on scene. That'll be cool.
That's not really a problem, no, or like you'd have to have enough ambulances in service where that's not really an issue. So, think of it as for patients.
yeah, and we have 3 of them, so there's gonna be 1 on each first out ambulance. So we normally staff 3 ambulances per shift, so we have 1 for each ambulance every day.
Anyway, it's really exciting, like I said, we really did it. Did this 7 years ago. I'm wishing it's really exciting. I like to help myself.
Is your speaker?
No, it's off.
I'm excited. That's cool.
Okay, now we get to elect officers, board officer positions. We have board president, board vice president, and secretary treasurer for each of the 3 entities. So I will, look before for nominations for each position. If you wish to nominate the director, just say the name. If there's only one person nominated, then we'll close and, look for a vote to favor or oppose. If there's multiple nominations, then we will do a vote on each person. So first off is the Social Valley Fire Rescue Board President. Any nominations for Board President from SCFR directors? Jim and Lori, you're invited to.
I nominate Lori.
Okay. Lori, you've been nominated. Are you willing to serve?
Absolutely.
Lori Apple's been nominated for the position of president, board president. Are there further nominations for this position? Hearing none, the nominations are closed. I need a second to nominate Lori Apple as the new board president.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand.
All opposed?
I'm not muted.
That is unanimous.
All was needed for all votes.
Parker,
Under Oregon open meeting laws, roll call is required for all decision votes.
not for elected, not for the board positions. Yeah. I did look that up. Okay. So next is SBFR Board Vice President. Any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Jim Pleasky.
Jim, are you willing to serve as vice president?
Yes.
Thank you.
So Jim Pleasy's been nominated
I'll
for
second it.
position of vice president. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. We have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Jim. Secretary Treasurer for Central Valley Fire and Rescue, any nominations?
Stephanie Restrepo.
Are you willing to serve as Secretary Treasurer, Stephanie?
Why not?
Okay. Stephanie Restrepo has been nominated for the position of Secretary Treasurer. Are there any further nominations for this position? Hearing none, the nominations are closed. I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Yeah. Thanks for serving. Again, second. Okay, Western Lane Ambulance District. Board President, any nominations?
I nominate Mike Webb.
Mike, are you willing to serve?
Are there any other nominations?
Hearing none.
Okay. Mike Webb's been nominated for this, Western Lane Ambulance District Board President. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. Can I get a second? Second, Linda, any discussion? All those in favor of Mike Webb as board president, raise your hand. Any opposed? You don't get to vote more. Congratulations, Mike. What's your name of this district board vice president?
Nominate Adam Holbrook, since he's not here.
We assume that Adam, will consent to serving as vice president. Adam Holbrook's been nominated for the position of vice president for Western Lane Ambulance District. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director Moss. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand or right hand. Dr. Howard, Vice President. Nominations open for Western Lane Ambulance District Secretary Treasurer.
Nominate Vanessa Plus.
Are you willing to serve?
Yes, I am.
Vanessa West was nominated for the position of Secretary Treasurer. Are there any further nominations for this position? Hearing none, nominations are closed. We have a second. Second. Second by Little Sims. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Well, be the board president, nominations are open.
Cindy Russell.
Are you willing,
That was awful fast.
are you willing to serve, Cindy?
Yes.
Okay. Cindy Russell has been nominated for the position of WLFEA board president. Are there any further nominations? Is there, nominations are closed, then may I have a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? So this will be for everybody to vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Cindy. WLFEA, board vice president, that's
Linda Steph.
Linda, are you willing to serve?
Yes.
Okay. Linda Steph's been nominated for the position of vice president. Are there any further nominations? I need a second.
I'll second.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor of Linda Steph as WLFEA board vice president, raise your hand. Any opposed? Thank you. WLFEA secretary treasurer.
Nominate David Carrillo.
Riddle's been nominated. David, are you willing to serve as WLFEA secretary treasurer?
Yes. A
Uh,
long pause.
yeah.
Well, somebody else wants to run against me.
Well, you've been nominated for the position of secretary treasurer. Are there any further nominations for this position? That was your only out. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Congratulations, Dave. You have descriptions of the duties, if anybody's interested to know what they've got.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, public comment, any public comments?
No public comment.
Consent agenda consisting of meeting minutes of the regular meeting June 26th, staff reports and correspondence. Would any of the directors like anything taken out of the consent agenda for discussion?
Yes, the minutes.
Okay. What would you like to talk about?
I attended the LCOG general board meeting during the time when, well, he was having his board meeting. It reflects in the minutes that I was absent, and it should reflect that I was honoring my obligation to WLFEA, attending the LCOG meeting.
Can we make that modification to the minutes? Okay. Anything else on the minutes? We did announce that you were, it just didn't, that you were at L5, it just didn't make it to the minutes, I think. All right. Carrying on else, the consent agenda was adopted with correction on the meeting minutes. Monthly financials.
So, and first of all, I want to let everybody know that these aren't the final reports. We are still processing credit card transactions from June for Western Indian. There's still some issues with our reports that we're working out. Some of the things that you're gonna notice is, for example, under WLFEA, personnel and materials and services are all incorporated under expenses, and we would like to get those split out, so you're gonna see that, all intertwined. And again, I reported last month that we reallocated GL codes, so you'll notice, on page 2 of WLFEA's, general fund, or page 1 of WLFEA's, general fund, budget versus actuals, supplies is way over budget, and that's because we've readjusted some of those GLs, and so all of them are showing up in the one GL. But we are not over the budget, just want to reaffirm that. Again, for all the year-end transfers have been made, they are not being reflected in the reports correctly, and so we want to get that corrected. Western Lane Ambulance, we're still working on entering the credit card revenue for Life Med for June. Life Med applications for 24-25 were $16.95. We are currently for this year sitting at 1,500, and we're still processing. So we figure that we're gonna be on target for what we've gotten or received last year for Life Med memberships. Other than that, does anybody have any questions for me? We're trying to quickly wrap up last year.
From patient service fees, Western Line Ambulance seemed to be a lot higher than anticipated. Am I misreading that, or did we have a good year from patient services? Sort of like 300,000-400,000.
I know they raised their rates.
Okay.
I don't think
I mean, it's a good side, on the revenue side, it's higher.
more call, yeah, more call. I don't know that we've been extra busy this past year.
I think, yeah, we've been. Steady as far as like the last few years go.
How many overall calls?
We've actually done less transfers. And critical care transports, which were big money makers for us. But I think as far as revenue goes from transport services, it's been pretty steady. Maybe we just budgeted a little low.
Yeah, I think it's they raised their fees, probably a big part of that. Any other questions for Trish? Thank you. For old business, you have some training policies.
And the bank filled up.
We'll go back to financials.
So it's not right then. So one of the things that we would like to do, and we need, the board vote to do this. Both with SVFR and Western Line Ambulance, we have the capital improvement, capital replacement. And the capital equipment funds that are currently, earning 1% interest. We would like the board's permission to open equivalent accounts with the LGAP so that we can earn, closer to 5% interest.
Is there a drawback to that? Sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're still for action. Still these, yeah,
The only technical drawback is it's not FDIC insured. But understand government funds when deposited in the bank are collateralized, so they're guaranteed anyway. Just to
so we need a motion from each agency to move from their current accounts to LDRP accounts.
I would make that motion under Western Line Ambulance.
Motion by, second by Director Bus. Discussion? Mary, can you do a roll call, Western Lane Ambulances
Yes.
directors?
Western Lane Ambulance Directors, Director Russell,
yes,
Director Stan,
Yes.
Director Bus. Yes. Director Webb.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'll motion
To move, yes,
to.
we have a motion to move the funds, second by Director Struggle. Any discussion? Mary, can you do a roll call vote for?
SBFR Directors, Director Heppel,
Yes.
Director Stanton,
Yes.
Director Polisi,
yes,
Director Corrado,
Yes.
Director Restrepo. Yes.
And then we have the signature cards for Western Lane Ambulance, to adjust the signers. We had a problem with SVFR and WLFEA, the director Stanton doesn't want to be a signer on the account. And so we need to redo our motions, for signers. And that would be for SVFR, the signers would be. Director Polisi, Director Crowell, Director Heppel, Chief Schick, Chief Chance, and Director Restrepo.
So we need a motion for that.
Mm-hmm.
We need a motion from SCFR to approve those as signers on the bank account.
Motion to approve those as signers for
We got a
the.
motion, second.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to make a comment here. I went to the bank. I had an account at the bank. But they closed it, don't want to take my money out. The process to be able to sign on that card is to be able to have an account at the bank. They will not allow me an account at the bank. So. That's why I'm not able to.
I believe that's incorrect, so we just would need your identification, that's all. So if we have the identification and the tax ID number, you can be assigned along with the designation from the district, so there's no issue, you do not have to have an account at the bank.
Whatever the process is the same.
It's,
You have to fill out the same forms and. I'm not able to, so
well, if you have an account at the bank, you probably already have the
There's no-
information on file.
absolute need that I be on the signature card.
Well, anyway, I believe, and I know you're wrong, but you don't have to be a signer on the account, just making that statement.
Any further discussion? Very, Director Restrepo. Where can you do a roll call for SCFR?
Director Heppel,
Yes.
Director Stanton,
Yes.
Director Lacy,
yes,
Director Carrillo,
Yes.
Director Restrepo. Yes. Then we have to do one for WLFEA. Those same signers and, the Western Lane ambulance directors. Hold.
So we need a motion from WLFEA for any names.
Yes, Director Russell, Director Buss, Director Webb, Director Stent, Director Holbrook, Director Policey, Director Carrillo, Director Heppel, Chief Schick, Chief Chance, and Director Restrepo.
Need a motion from WLFEA.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Second, any discussion? Or can you do a WLFEA roll call?
Yes. Director Russell,
yes,
Director Stent,
Yes.
Director Buss,
Yes.
Director Webb,
Yes.
Director Heppel,
Yes.
Director Stanton,
Yes.
Director Policey,
yes,
Director Carrillo,
Yes.
Director Restrepo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Now we'll go on to old business, some training policies. Any questions or comments on those policies? Hearing none, thank you. On to new business. So we have an IGA, draft IGA that we've been working with Swiss Home Deadwood on, Director Webb, and I have been talking to directors from Swiss Home as well as the Swiss Home Fire Chief Brady. We want to get an agreement with them, help support them in their EMS responses. They can be a big help to us when we're responding upriver to Swiss Home Deadwood area. But it's quite an expense for them to maintain training and equipment for their people. So we offered to help. We just wanted to have an official agreement in place to keep there. And Director Webb on it, people had.
It's a win-win for both agencies.
So we need a motion to accept that the intergovernmental agreement that's in your packet.
Is this Western Line?
Western Lane ambulance is just Western Lane ambulance.
I'd make a motion to accept the IGA as drawn.
There's a second discussion, and I'll open discussion up to everybody. Any questions on the IGA purpose?
Have you heard feedback from the other side? Are they in agreement with the IGA as drawn?
It looks good, that's all I put.
Okay.
And I did tell Greg I was gonna bring you the board.
Good.
Okay, Mary, can you do Western Lane ambulance roll call?
Director Russell,
yes,
Director Stent,
Yes.
Director Bus?
Yes.
Director Webb?
Yes.
We have a presentation by Director Stan on dormitory space.
You see, we can share a screen here.
See if I can do that.
Like you should be able to share, Director Stan.
Okay. Talking about the expansion of shipborne facilities that is well established that we don't need here. Pretty much you can read this, but when time ago I offered an expensive approach, it did not receive much favor. We have a current process, proposal that is going. About 6 months ago, the chief mentioned that it's going to be $10 million. We're talking $15 million total. So I brought back the idea that I was proposing 12 months ago, about 4 months ago, and I received positive feedback that maybe they said on the agenda. Now, if that had been adopted or something similar back 20 months ago, our ship personnel probably would be in-house right now. So what is it? Modular college-like dormitory. We need to expand Station 1 sleeping facilities, which currently have about 10 folks with 4 using Murphy beds. Our chief, March 2023, specified the need for 8 2-bed rooms for a total of 16, at least initially. The present 10 million, that excludes design, permits, inspections, furniture, and all those other things. I'm proposing something which would be around 1 million to construct, transport, and install because it's in modular structure. I see, and this does exclude design, permits, inspections, and furniture. Some office upgrades will also be done to the admin apparatus building because there's a desire to increase some office space there. The modular itself could be placed on existing land that the district has, which is the parking lot, or even purchase the property next to it. The idea being to turn that property, which is across the street, into the parking lot. So we were talking about 1 million versus 10 million. Having the same facilities, the better facilities at 1/10 the cost. The structure is basically a kitchen, a living room, utility room, and then a bunch of bedrooms and bathrooms. So you need more bedrooms and bathrooms in a house, you basically make a larger house. What we're looking at here is a triple wide. And why do I bring this one up? Which is a 40 by 66 foot? Well, because it's been done. Chief Birch went ahead and took this approach. He said, why build a fancy structure when you can just buy an existing home, which is well established and very easy to bring in. Triple wide is 2,640 square feet. That one there has 7 bedrooms. Our chief is about asking for 8. It's got bathrooms, utility rooms, full kitchen, dining area, so forth and so on. All for $800,000. Now that is the cost of the land and the modular being built, transported, and installed. However, it only costs Chief Birch somewhere around 10 to 20,000, because that $800,000 came through a state grant for housing of fire personnel. He then had to buy beds and bureaus and desks and tables and that kind of things using Amazon. Now, the modular approach is able to bypass most of the local red tape, saves the cost because of efficiency in building off-site. And also dormitory modular structures are becoming very common. Once a modular home is installed, it can easily be remodeled. So like in the last case there, you could take the kitchen and make that into a day room. And we make the dining and living room spaces by putting up additional walls into additional bedrooms. That's just one approach. The typical two-person type of bedroom, right here, think of it as a college dorm room. I myself, lived in one of these through my college days. This, of course, would be in a shared bathroom, and usually there's a day room involved. If we went double wide, say double high, because we have a footprint issue here. The typical units that come down the highways are 14 foot by 60 foot. So imagine this as a Lego. It's a matter of building blocks. To have a double wide, you bring 2 units down the highway. If you want a double high, you build it. Why not? I did unofficial contacts with various builders around here. I did not reference the district. I did not reference anything more than the Frederick in Florence. For all they know, it was the casino that might be investigating to find out what in general are the prices of moving luncheon. They told me it was roughly 150 to 250 per square foot to build it, and then to transport and install it, another 40 to 50 per square foot. So if we're talking about building, transporting, installing of a double wide, double high, which would be 3,360 square feet or so, we're talking around 1 million. Here's an example of one, but there is all kinds of plans. This one here is using 14 by 41 foot units. The first floor, you have a day room, 6 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a utility room. The second floor, we have 8 more bedrooms, 2 baths, with a staircase. Once again, there's a plethora of possibilities. Here is to give you an idea. As you can see here, we have some that are single story, some that are double story, all of them are at least double wide. Thanks to building housing, not offices, mean that we can do a very cost-effective and timely approach using a residential house concept, whereby we can very quickly bring in modular units and have them installed. Here I'm looking at standard 12 by 60 foot, that's 1,440 square foot per unit. If we have a single floor double wide, it comes in around $500,000 to $750,000 or $300 per square foot total cost. That's including furniture, permits, connecting to utilities, so forth and so on. Of course, yes, these are still kind of rough figures. So if you went to double high, you'd be doubling that. So 1 million to 1.5 million. So this is alternative whose time has come. We've looked at taking the custom build approach, it's too expensive. And really, our need is not to have additional offices or offices in our location, it's to have housing for our shift personnel. And housing which can be quiet. It's a separate building, we can do that. And it provides basically what they need to get whatever sleep they need. We already have here the facility, the full cafeteria requirements. So, as I said, move the parking across the street and use the parking area for the dormitory or the next one over. Now, this not being a stick built means that we have less issue with Lane County and Florence. When you're doing something custom, every single step has to be reviewed carefully. And you have to satisfy a lot of people, a lot of requirements, which basically, when you have a modular coming in, have already been taken care of. It's essentially what we're looking for is a residential unit, and these are common and well understood. Once again, it's like a legless. Which means in the future, we can be adding things to it, depending upon what design is made. And how about doing it for free? Well, for free, but instead of $800,000. Central Texas Fire Investment was getting a grant for $950,000. So here we see where we can actually get this modular in here to meet the needs of our ship personnel. Utilizing the grant. All our costs would be to furnish it and take care of the designs and permits and things like that as they come along. So I go back to the original slide. We need shift housing. You've got 10 now, we need 16, we can get it on 116 with modular. We're talking about not 10 million, but 1 million. And then the additional cost of design, permits, inspections, and furniture. And we can put that on existing land that we have now. And I do mention there will be some upgrades then to this building to allow for more office space. For instance, as I mentioned back 20 months ago, the cubicles, 6 units that we have downstairs, where there was a desire to turn that into an office, we could turn that actually into 4 separate offices. But they don't have windows. They're on the inside. My recommendations are that we open up the opportunities to allow alternatives to be considered to the current stick-built approach. That we authorize a board level committee to do the research and report back to the board. I speak of a board level because the station facilities is a staff level committee, as it's created, run, and reported to, and eventually closed by our chief. And all the committees he wants, because he has his needs to fulfill. This could be a board level, so it supports and is controlled by the board. At this point, we'll be making official inquiries to say who we are, what we're looking for. In general, get an idea of what is out there in order to produce a good RFP. See if we can shape out additional builders. There are a lot of builders here in the Pacific Northwest. By utilizing this approach, we can further design a housing system, which is a capital project for which we can obtain grant money. So, as I said, that when I was at one of the conferences, they had a presentation regarding this, how to get grants. They said, first thing, you were got to basically have the project down to the dollars and cents, and then go shopping. So now you've got actual figure, you've got actual plan, you've got everything worked out, and all it needs is somebody to write a check. Thank you for your attention. I will turn the floor to the presiding officer, and hopefully we can get to some discussion if you want to take some action, an alternative approach. Because as it is now, our current project is stalled, being excessively costly. Thank you.
So the one issue we've always had with having dormitory across the street is that responders would have to cross the street then at all times, all weather. They'd be crossing a public street to get to the apparatus.
That was brought up when I did my follow-on presentation, that hey, we have a parking lot area, and then the people don't need to cross the streets. So there's that alternative. That we could be using the parking area, Google parking. Or additional costs we could obtain the property next to the parking lot. It was just mentioned way back when we gave a presentation that it's a potential possibility.
So are you talking about engines and apparatus? Moving those across the street?
No, the building that we have here will remain the admin and apparatus building. We need to add basically shift housing. We take the shift housing out of this building, which gives us more space for office.
Right.
And we put that into a separate building. And that building,
Across the
I
street.
should say, modular building. It's inexpensive to bring in. And it could be across the street, it could be the parking lot, it could be in the house lot next door. So these are options to look at, because when you are bringing the cost down by $9 to $14 million. You have some latitude to buy the land over there. The chief bird, she went ahead and bought land.
West of the
and
building.
bought-
If you go 2 stories, can they be sprinkled and elevator ready? And seismic?
That is part of the things that, the board committee could look into, the details. Chief Birch tried to put in sprinklers, costed $10,000 into the triple wide. He had so much red tape, so many project delays that come on that he abandoned the idea. Said, okay, I need that, and I'll just go with the sprinklers.
For the type of facility we're building, the resilience is a requirement, so.
Well,
Even if it's a manufactured home or a modular, it would still need to be resilient for events.
This is what the board committee first investigates, fully detailed, come back with some actual design concept. Perhaps even, rough proposal prices. To then get permission from the board authorization to go forward RFP.
Question, if we have a component of this, say, the modular home built component is $1 million. And the additional site work and requirements here, when does prevailing wage tip? Is it the cost of that one asset being part of the contribution towards it, even if it's granted?
I do not know that.
Maybe some triggers it. Be some serious question. I mean, it's worth exploring. Don't get me wrong, but there's some things that we've run into with our district of late, last 10 years or so, with retrofitting for seismic. And making sure we're sprinkled and everything is important, so. Those would be requirements of any new construction, I think. I'm not opposed to putting just employee parking across the street. And expanding to the west, that to me makes sense. One of the things we're accomplishing with the last build was additional space for apparatus. And that was an important part of our last request that was why it was ballooning up as high as it was. Because the height and base and the additional, we wouldn't be able to get that with this.
You could always expand apparatus bays going into the parking lot. That point, you might need to buy the next property over for the dormitory structure. These are all things that the committee would be looking into.
Do we still need it? We still need the space.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we're prepared to do without, just for financial considerations, but yeah. But good. Certainly, yeah, because we're gonna move forward if we got that.
Like boomer,
$10 million in the legislature. Right?
No.
And did I say 10 million? Right. 10 million. Plus, say you're fine. Yeah. So Director Russell, you're president of WLFEA. Would you like to establish a committee?
Sorry, I had to get it off of mute. What was the question again?
You are the president of WLFEA. Let me confirm that. Yes.
Yes,
You're the WLFEA board president. Would you like to establish a committee to evaluate a proposal from Director Stanton? Or you can take volunteers? How would you like to do?
I'd like to see if we can get some volunteers for it.
Okay.
Anyone willing?
Yeah, I will. It's Jim.
Director
Anyone?
of Police.
Anyone else?
Did you put my name down?
Yeah, we're all. Anyone else?
I don't think I have the patience for that committee.
The patience.
Understandable.
I'm concerned about my time.
Probably be good to have at least 3 people.
So who do we have so far? Director Polisi, Director Carrillo?
No.
No. I don't think, I don't know. Oh, wear and tear, everyday little firefighters. No fire, no maybe. Well, plus any obligation with the secretary.
Yeah. You have to put the finances, you know.
So-
It does make it easier.
I have just one concern, so we have a bigger issue, right? It's office space, it's space for our staff. If we're just looking at a committee for that one thing, we're missing the mark. Not one bigger picture.
I think you can include the entire picture so that you're looking at this as a component, maybe this satisfies a good portion of it. And how do we work with this and what is the cost?
An office space be something.
And that's the way I was, so I think Dr. Holt's a great choice.
They don't know if he's got the time.
If you're going for a grant, it's probably best to be able to isolate that portion into a grant, but process of moving housing, the beds out of here, there's a whole opportunity there. As for the office expansion.
So how about if we table this for now and we bring it up at the next meeting after people have had a chance to think about their obligations and what they can contribute to the committee?
Okay, we can do that. Maybe have a charter for the school.
Make it an agenda item for next time.
Yeah. We will do that.
All right, let's go with that plan then.
Thank you. Okay, we've got new business, new policies to review, some more training policies. Let us know if you have any questions. We do appreciate everybody reading those. Director comments, any director comments?
I have a comments here.
Director Chen?
Let me see if I still zoom. That's bad. Okay, as I said, I'm attending the OPAB meetings. I like to report back to the board. Item 1 here. If none of you are aware, we do have LCOP right here in town. Lawrence location has 7 full-time workers. Building requirement of other service providers. Wonder if you can make that screen full screen over there?
Screen.
I think it's, is that from your laptop or? Okay.
It's full screen.
I should be able to. What, yeah, probably. Yeah, the view.
Okay, are you doing that? 6th June 2025 board meeting. This is it, just a general as to what they do, read it. This is an idea of LCOP.
You look up at the top right, you
Right there, you
all the way at the bottom. There. Should be able to drag it, the other pieces off the side.
make it small.
Is it out of there?
Should.
I can try.
Just hit that dash all the way on the left, on the top of that bar.
Right there. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Here are the main issues that were discussed, considering adopting their new budget. We have 11 million, they have 85 million. Now, they're gonna keep it just about the same because they're anticipating some reductions in grant funding since they don't have a tax base. accept evaluation of our executive director, been in post for 13 years. There was an audit in the past, there were a few issues, that might be partially because Alcoa lost its financial director in January last year, has been operating with an interim between. Rest of the boards are, there's functional areas, nothing really directly to our requirements here. Or the Western Main Crisis Response people, hopefully are working with Alcoa because they do overlap. So, item number 2. Public meeting law training. Especially for the newbies here. Training must be completed at least once for each term of office. And my question at this point is, who has completed this so far? Anyone else in the fire district? Anybody? I have for the ambulance district, Mike Webb and Cindy Russell. Anybody else? So, Tim, we have a good group.
Send this out.
Yeah, this is.
The courses are offered oftentimes in conferences, which makes it expensive. Because I went half day early, I was able to attend the course. Otherwise, they are coming around at $85. There's gonna be one in June, but I like to keep the cost to the district down. So attending the conference that's offered, that's a wonderful opportunity. Well, we got the report of the board, what's he said, I guess for elections, I'll have to get that one. All right. One of the items that was brought up at that class that I attended was unintentional serial meetings. And that is in the emails, pressing reply, or we don't need to be doing something which may be conflicts of interest or possibly serial meeting, but what I see a lot of times is the emails that I'm getting have replied all. And it should always be selecting only reply. And here's some examples. In office, often shut down out a notice. I notice promotion, somebody in the workforce, and people reply all congratulating. Well, first off, you don't want to appropriate that email is the individual who was promoted. Then wonderful, you got this promotion. Sending it to everybody else. Not seems meaningless, innocent, but now you're doing a bit of campaigning. You might even be spreading around your thoughts about things. Once again, seems innocent, but we have people in the public who love to attack boards, even things like this. Here's another one. The staff sends out a message saying, who's available? Reply all. Reply only one. Because the only one that should be getting back the reply is the office, the person who's asking the question. If you're sending it to others, you could be getting yourself into a bit of a discussion. Oh my goodness, you could be doing some bad thing. Oh my goodness. This is unintentional leading towards serial meeting. It's not the traditional, really, oh, yeah, I think we should do this, or we should do this, how about coming in and going on and on. But once you've got a reply all, you got more than 2 other directors. You have a forum being formed. So we were cautioned, do not reply all, reply only individually. And if it's from the office asking a question, reply just to there. If somebody who congratulated, send a message just to that individual. After you get an email from the office. Other guides on email etiquette is that you should only be quoting that which you're responding to. Keep in mind that all emails are public domain. So act as though one is emailing to the general public, but people emailing to one individual. And also, you really shouldn't be sharing emails, even though this is all public domain, without the permission of the originator. And that's all I wanted to say on that aspect of the law. Thank you for your attention, and I return the floor.
We're still at director comments, any other director comments? Anybody online would like to comment? Seeing no hands, okay, future business. The next meeting is August 28th, I believe. Joint board meeting. Yeah, with no further discussion, we can adjourn the joint board meeting. Thanks, everybody. Secretary, you. That's awesome. Thanks, Eddie, Lori. Yeah.
No.